You know, I get a lot of flack for not showing how we do the pumps and the plumbing. Let's rectify that. I absolutely love what Boulevard did here with this stacked slate wall, and I'm going to explain to you why we did it like this.
Plus will be dumped.
If you haven't seen part one, click the link right here, hit pause, go watch it, get up to speed, because we have got a ton of work done. All right, Alan, coming off a weekend where we got to relax a little bit, we spent the whole week getting the pond pretty much 90% done, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got a tremendous amount of work done last week. The two teams came together. I mean, we got over 100 ton in this pond.
I'm just hoping we don't slow down now.
We're not slowing down.
Okay.
Getting a week 2, we are gonna get this reverse wetland in. That's really gonna set the stage for where this Infinity Edge waterfall goes. And we have one more wetland over here to the side. So we're gonna have to commingle them. So it might take a little bit of time to get it excavated properly, but that's where we're gonna start today. So right now we're getting ready to put our snorkel and centipede modules in. In this case, we're using them as a draw point because we want to suck all that water down through the rock and gravel rather than push it up like a traditional wetland. So we could call this a reverse wetland because this is our draw points. We got 3 external pumps, 18,000 and 212. So each one is going to be dedicated to its own pump to make sure that it never starves for water.
Alan's going to get these centipedes and snorkels all set. We're going to surround those with a nice big cobble that allows the water to really get through down into these slots where we're going to be drawing that water into that snorkel where the intake for our external pumps is going to be. Once these centipedes and snorkels are all set, we can start installing our whole layer of aqua blocks. This excavation is 20 feet wide and it's 32 feet long. It's a huge hole, but it's going to be able to hold 7,000 gallons of water, which is what's going to make our entire system work. We got a chilly start to day 2. We were able to get our 7,000 gallon reservoir completely installed. There is our 3 snorkeling units. We put a nice 6 or 8 inch layer of river stone on top that's going to help us disperse weight as well as give us a base for the patio that's going to be here.
Today we're going to start with a frame rock right in this area that's going to kind of set the stage for all the waterfalls that are going to go through here. So basically once we start over in here, that waterfall area is going to kind of carry over into here. It's not going to be all one big mass of waterfalls, but it's going to have different series of them in order to make it super interesting. Then up here, we're going to have to get one more wetland in because we don't have enough space on the upper end where we put the other one. So we got to have that additional one. But what I think is going to be cool is how they're all going to flow one into another to create a really cool waterfall down here.
So while Alan and I get busy over here starting to create this waterfall, Jason's going to get rolling on putting a pad in for the pumps.
Over in this area here, I'm going to be forming in a 4-foot by 5-foot pad to fit our 3 external pumps. We'll bring our suctions in over here and we'll exit back to the pond over here.
Now that we've got a plan, we can get rolling on day 2. All right, Alan, so end of day 7?
Yeah, day 7.
End of day 7, and we are looking really good down here. I'm gonna let you run us through what we accomplished today.
We got a couple of frame rocks set, and then Boulevard came right in here and he did one of his stacked slate walls, which looks really cool, and put some weep holes in there, so in case this water was ever to come up, it's going to go back down through the pipes, back down into our 7,000 gallon reservoir. Now that we had those frame rocks started, we were able to start working that waterfall. The next thing we're going to have to do is, first thing in the morning, is put another piece of liner back there so we can continue to build, and we got one more wetland to build, which is going to happen tomorrow.
If you guys watch this channel, you know the waterfalls are my favorite part, and getting started down here in this reservoir, I'm super excited for the way this is looking just from one day of putting the rock work in. So we've shaped out on top of this reservoir with these boulders, creating a nice intimate seating area. Imagine the flagstone's going to be covering this entire space. In the back there, we're actually going to get some fabric, lay it down on top of our stone, and then fill this whole thing with dirt, really shrinking this whole area up. So in actuality, the only water you're going to see is the water that comes in from the waterfall. I absolutely love what Boulevard did here with this stacked slate wall, and I'm going to explain to you why we did it like this. That stacked slate is about 8 inches off of the top of the aqua blocks. That's going to give us enough base underneath our patio. Also, those weep holes that we have built into the wall are going to allow any water that doesn't make it down through infiltration here to go into those pipes and then down directly into the reservoir. We won't have any water backing up here or overflowing the system. That is just going to prevent that from happening. When this is finished, the patio is going to cantilever over this wall. So you're actually just going to see like a nice clean line with the patio. I actually love that. That's going to fit in here so well. When you come down the steps onto the patio, this nice semicircle here with all these cascades coming down into this space. This is probably going to be my favorite spot. This is a great place to leave off for today, because tomorrow we can set just a couple more frame rocks for the cascades that are behind what's in here now, and then we can dig our other constructed wetland filter. This is actually the larger of our 2 constructed wetland filters, and between the 2 that we have, it'll have plenty of filtration to keep that pond nice and clean. See you guys in the morning. You know, I get a lot of flack for not showing how we do the pumps and the plumbing. Let's rectify that. For this pond, since they're going to be swimming in it, we're using external pumps. We got Jason over here doing some hookup. We've got a 12,000 gallon an hour pump, an 18,000, and another 12,000. And they'll all be pulling water from our snorkels. That's what these 3 pipes are for. Those are our suction lines. We use hard PVC here because flex PVC could possibly collapse with the vacuum being pulled up to where the pumps are. So this is all hard PVC. We got 3-inch plumbing, which goes down into the bottom of our snorkel, and right down there we've got a check valve. Now it's going to be the same setup for all 3 pumps. The reason we use a check valve down inside the vault is because we've got to prime these pumps in order for them to pull suction. There's going to be a T with a cap. We can actually stick a hose in there, fill the entire pipe up with water. That check valve is going to hold that water in the line and give us the ability to flood the pipe, so when the pumps turn on, they'll pull suction, then they can feed it up into the various areas where we're sending the water.
The 2 12,000s are going to be going to our wetlands. We have one wetland up here, and we have another wetland on the other side. And our 18,000 will be going to our jets, which will be 1,000 gallons per jet. Plus will be dumped.
So, of course, we're having fun on this job, but that 18,000 is going to be feeding all of our jets, plus we're dumping the extra water into the pond because we need the volume. Number one, we want to push a lot of water down the bottom of the pond. That's going to get our circulation, forcing everything up to the surface so it can go over the negative edge waterfall, which is here. We also need the volume to create those cascades. When we're designing a pond like this, when Alan and I sat down, we really had to think about how much flow we needed to all these different areas, how much we want to put through the wetlands, how much flow we need for all those jets that are in there. So those are the things that you want to work out before you start your project. That's going to help you with your pump and plumbing sizing. While Jason's busy over there with the pumps, Alan and I are going to work on getting out of this bottom hole. We've got to finish placing our boulders that are going to frame out these multiple cascades coming down into our 7,000 gallon reservoir. Once we get up to the height of where the wetland filter is, we're going to go ahead and dig the wetland. Then we can take our liner from the wetland, do our overlap, and continue building up the hill. I'm not trying to neglect you guys. We've just been hammering all day long, getting so much done. I'll run you through it right now. Jason did a pretty excellent job getting our pumps hooked up. All 3 of the pumps are ready to go, right, Jason? Good job, buddy. So we went hard pipe over to where it meets up with our flex. Jason did a great job here with supporting it. He built a wall right around the pipes, so that's all good to go. We can backfill that. We're gonna put a couple boulders out in front of this to kind of hide the pipes from the rest of this area down here. Drew and the boys got the space on top of the reservoir all prepped, ready for our flagstone patio. We're hoping to get that tomorrow so these guys can lay that. We're gonna build a small fire pit inside here out of boulders and pour concrete floor in it. The waterfall from the wetland down to the bottom is pretty much framed out. We're in good shape there. Got some steps in here. That's gonna be so freaking cool. And I just finished the rough excavation for our bigger wetland that's gonna be feeding this set of cascades. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna get this shaped up, get our fabric, liner fabric, aqua blocks, centipede snorkel in here, and then we can build our wetland filter and tie it into this lower waterfall. Hey, Alan. You were dragging today a bit, I think. Like,
Yeah, I was.
We could have gotten so much more done if you weren't just moping around the job site.
So who was really dragging today?
We were both kind of tired today, but
well,
we still managed
to get a lot
done. We got the waterfall ready, got the wetland all shaped out. So tomorrow we get the wetland in and finish this waterfall. We can get on that by Friday.
I think Friday will be in good shape.
Friday will be in nice shape. So it's unbelievable the amount of work we've gotten done in 8 days.
I think we got over 150 ton of boulders in this thing.
Yeah, can you see how excited he is?
I am so excited. We had 150 ton of boulders in here.
That's better.